Hi. So, a friend of mine wanted to buy a computer, but he didn't know where to start and what questions to ask. So he asked me, "So what do you know about computers? Since you use it from a long time." So I'm just gonna share my opinion and experience on computers. So if you have a question that can you buy a computer on your own and handle it, the simple answer is yes, and you should. It's like you shouldn't use a computer that has given by someone to you mm, without you knowing about that computer. It's like not worth it. You should buy a computer by knowing how you are going to use it and what type of product you are buying. Like a car, it's like some random guy giving you a random car. You will just use it for driving, but you know nothing about it, so it's not like your personal car. Any bus would work too if your option is only to just travel. So my opinion on choosing a computer cost, and as people generally have which computer to buy. So this that models, and the simple answer is like anyone will work. Any computer will do any kind of task. Like you can still play GTA 5 from a 10 more than 10-year-old computer and it still works. The only problem is it takes more time and you have to give more effort into it. So the only simple question before buying you a computer you ask is yourself, like how much money do we have? Like how much are we going to spend on it? And so let's say you got some figure and you go to a shopkeeper and he'll ask you, he'll just show you a random computers like this one, that one, and how do you know which one fits you and how are you gonna pick model? It's just goes simple. Monitor is just like a TV. It doesn't matter which monitor you buy, they all same, unless you are like a graphic designer who want or a like a streamer on the YouTube, you want a specific type of frame rates. Every any computer monitor will work for you. So it doesn't matter which monitor, it only depends on price. So monitor doesn't matter, it only matters is the CPU. So speaking of CPU, people will say that you will see different sizes of CPU. What I suggest is you go for the biggest size one. Don't try to buy the tiny CPUs or the mini towers, micro ATX people label it as. The smaller the computer CPU size is, the harder for you to replace that parts. Most computers like Dell or some smaller tiny computers, they'll prepare a motherboard in a specific size and a model. Only that company's that specific model will only fit inside of it. So if you buy one CPU and later after a year or some other time if you want to replace that part won't be either unavailable or it will cost so much higher to replace that part. So you just go for a bigger size of a CPU. It doesn't matter, it's just the size. If it's more bigger, the more parts you can easily swap it, and there will be more space for hard disks too and other fans and the lights, all stuff, and that's okay. And what about the speed of a CPU of a computer? So it just goes there is like only two companies for processors. It depends on processor actually. So processors are just like two. There's the Intel and the AMD. So in a simple terms I can explain Intel. It will be same as AMD. So Intel has like only four, like i3, i5, i7, i9. So i9 is like far too advanced for a beginner to use. It costs a lot of money. So you will have only three options: i3, i5, i7. So i7 is the fastest one, and the i3 is the slowest one, and i5 is the like a middle guy, like the the middle sibling. And the speed how you check is it's just simple. The i7 has like physically more cores, like it just lifts more weight physically. It's like a stronger one. It has more, what do you call it, it has more strength to do it. And the i5 has less than i7, and the i3 is less than i5. But in that, there are like, some people will see in the internet that some i3 computers are expensive than i5 and some i5 are expensive i7. Sometimes the i3 is also expensive than all these three. So how is that possible? If this is the slowest one, how is this is more expensive than the i7? So the simple answer is, it's same like the car. There are like generations of computers. If you are buying a small car of a 10-year-old, it will cost you like, let's say it costs you a 10 rupees. The same car, if you buy like the most recent model from the current year or the last year, it will cost lot more than the older bigger cars. So same way, so you can pick processor i3, i5 or i7, and from that you can just simply pick the right generation processor based on your price. So how do you know which generation you are buying, and how do you define, how do you find out if someone is giving you showing you a computer? So it's just simple. Every processor, i3, i5 or i7, any processor will have some kind of number right next to that. It's like i3 3010, something like that, and i5 2400, which is I use, and i7 6700, something like that. If the processor has more than four numbers, it doesn't matter if it has four or more numbers, the first number is that computer generation. If the computer generation is first, the number will go only 3 actually, and if the computer is second generation, you will have 4 numbers. Like the starting number is 2400, that means the processor is second generation. And if the computer is like 6th generation, there will be some number like 6100, 6700, 7700. The starting number is the generation. So the bigger the generation, the newest model it is. It's like the most recent design. So design is design in the sense as a physical design. So people who made it recently has made it more efficient. Even if the car is smaller, even if it's the same car, they made some kind of changes. They'll remove or add more features based on older defects or older problems you faced before. So the computer has to be like in 3 of these, and you have to pick the right generation based on your price. It's actually, there won't be any kind of difference. It's just does more work. If the computer is bigger, it will do more work in the same time. If it is a smaller, it will do just less work in more time. So it's just simple. It doesn't matter which one you buy. All it comes down to money. What I'd suggest is, if you are a beginner, I suggest you buy the lowest price of whatever it is. It's just based on price. So later you will say that, so processors is I can pick. What if I'm buying my own computer, what if something goes wrong, or what if there is a part that I have to pick, like I heard a lot of them, CD drives people don't use it, and there may be some other parts you will think of. The simple thing is RAM is like simply adding a SIM card. You don't even have to worry about adding RAM. And adding RAM is simply like having more hands. You'll do the same work in the computer. If you have more hands, you'll do more work in the same table. So the table is your processor. Assume that the table is your processor. If you have more hands, you'll be able to do more things at the same time. And what about the storage? So simple. You will buy any kind of storage. The more storage, you'll store more. So it doesn't make the computer slow. If the storage is less, it will just fill and you won't be able to store more. That's it. And what about the other parts? You will say like power supply, and there will be some other parts like graphic cards. Any graphic card would work for you. It's like all you have to do is like reduce the graphic effects and reduce all the visual effects. It will still work. I still have like Nvidia GT 710 something. I still use Blender. It's like more than 10 years old, but it lags sometimes. That is the only thing. So it doesn't matter. If you have more money, you just buy a bigger one. People think that buying a cheaper one will give some kind of issue or a problem. It's not like that. It's just people just make newer softwares more with more visual effects and more features, so that they'll run in background and things like that. So that way the computer sometimes lags. That's it. It's not like this computer won't support that computer won't support this. Any computer will support any kind of software. All you have to do is just tweak it a little bit, adjust it, and make some work. Like I said in the beginning, if you are spending less money, you will have to do more work for that. And so you picked a computer, but you have a fear of buying it before. You have a fear of buying because what if the computer gets damaged? It's the main concern. People say that. If let's say you bought a computer and you are using it right now, and something happened in the computer, some green screen showed up or blue screen, and something happens, the computer shut down. All you have to do is, if there is something showing on the screen, like the company model name or whatever, when you start on the computer, it means it is working. If something is showing on the screen, that means that computer has, you don't have to go to shop to repair that. All you have to do is spare extra copy of that operating system. If your computer has Windows 10, 7, 11, whatever it is, you make a bootable pen drive and you use that pen drive only for reinstalling operating system. So any kind of software issue, any kind of problem it happens, all you have to do is just plug this in and reset everything. It's like resetting a day, where if anything goes wrong, you will just go to the beginning of that thing. So any software kind of issue, you have to manage it. That's how you will learn. So this making this won't take much time too. All you just need is to download an app, something like Rufus, and you can make it in less than an hour. So once you have this, you will not have any kind of software issue that you have to go to shop to. So this side is done. And about the hardware side, the worst case scenario is, what happens is, there will be a power supply issue that will cost you less than 500 rupees. You can just simply buy it from Amazon and you can replace it on your own. Actually, it doesn't require any kind of technical numbers or adjusting some kind of frequencies. There is nothing like that. And hard disk too, if the hard disk is dead, you can just replace with another hard disk, which is why I recommend, it doesn't matter if the computer is fast or slow, I suggest you to keep an extra spare hard disk. So in case something happens to one hard disk, you can use the other one. Or when you are reinstalling the operating system using pen drive, sometimes the main documents that you have in that hard disk can easily get deleted. So if you use two hard disks in one computer, it doesn't matter if they are smaller. So use one physical hard disk, separate hard disk for storing your data, and the other one for installing all the stuff. And any other kind of hardware issues, there are nothing like that. It costs you less than 1,000 rupees. The worst case scenario happens is, like, your motherboard gets damaged, or the processor, you bought it, the processor you can replace it, or you can upgrade it later. And the motherboard, that happens very rare. It never happened to me at all, actually, unless you put some screwdrivers on it while it is running, and nothing else happens. That too, it happens. So the shopkeepers, good day. And that's the thing, like, can you handle it? That is the actual question people ask themselves. I don't think I can handle that. I'll just buy it, but something, I'll keep it there, something happens to that computer. And there will be also a doubt where the computer shows the fan is spinning but nothing is showing on the screen. What do I do? It's like it is on, but I don't have anything to type on the keyboard. So he'll think like, there is no way for me to fix that. It's just, it could be the RAM, probably you smashed it, or probably it is like too old or about to die. So you just remove the RAM and turn it on. It will make some noise. That will explain you it's the RAM issue. Or any part, if you remove from the computer, it will make some kind of beeps. That beep sound will explain you what exactly is the problem. So you put those things back, or you buy a newer RAM from Amazon and put it back. It's same as like any other thing, like a SIM card, inserting a SIM card in a phone. And after that, what else is there for this thing? After that, people get other questions like, what do I learn about computer? Like, first of all, just now I bought a computer and it's like sitting on my table. Where do I even start? That question has like no answer. It has like a different kind of answer, where what do you do when someone asks you what do you do with the computer? You have to do everything with that. Like, where do you start? Whatever came to your thought first, you just start there. You don't just stop and don't turn back and don't completely use that. You just keep on using it computer every day. You'll end up somewhere. But that you have to exclude the social media. You use computer every day 24/7. It doesn't matter, except if you don't use social media. So you can learn a lot of things. And people also say that, like, what if I buy a computer and there will be operating system issues? Where do I have to pay for this thing, pay for that, and operating system software? That's all, like, unless you're a professional doing for some kind of company. For a personal computer, it doesn't matter. You can just buy some pre-activated operating system, or you download it from Windows. It doesn't care. Like watching a movie in privacy, what do you call it, piracy, pirated movies, you watch it, nobody cares. If you resell that, that's the problem. So if you do it for your personal use, it doesn't matter. You will get every software. For every software, you will get some kind of key that random people will give it online, or some kind of some kind of pirated apps will be available all the time for you to use. So for starting a computer, how to use it, you have to ask a question yourself. But why are you doing this? The question is, why do you want to know about this? Because it sounds cool? Or like, do you want to look like some kind of computer nerd, or like some guy, some hacker, do some hacking stuff? Is that, if that is your question, the computers are not good for you. Because it's not because it will affect you in some way. It's because the way we use computers, the softwares we use every day, they are being changed. Like, for example, my teacher who taught me how to use Microsoft Office, after, like, he has like more than 10 years of experience. Now I learned Microsoft Office from him, and now I also learned few other things, and now I earn more than him. He just only knows Microsoft Office, nothing else. The problem is, it doesn't matter how much good you are in a specific software or a specific app. There will always be newer apps, newer softwares, and some younger guy than you, who has spent more time at computer, will always outrun you, will always like leave you behind and take your place. So it doesn't matter how expert you are in the computers. The person who spent most time on the computer wins always. So there is no it's not like something like a craftsman. You learn to make some things and you leave it, and after a few years you won't be able to make that here. For a software guy, if you learn few things in the computer, after a few years you are same as like in the first day. So it's not like any other skills like that you do outside. So if you learn something inside of a computer, like a software, it won't last long unless you are using it every day. So these are the only, what do you call it, thoughts I got into my mind. If you want to know more, just let me know. I'll try to explain it more detailed way, so that my intention of making this video is you don't make mistakes that I already did. It's like, it's nothing else. That's it. See.